Hello, Kiannaa Sage here, the founder of InSync Consulting. And you may be wondering, how is InSync Consulting different from other organizations? And quite simply, we are different because we take the pieces of an organization and we bring them all together. You see, just like the theory of everything, one little piece out of whack over here influences how the flow of the entire organization. So essentially what InSync Consulting does, it brings the possibilities to the forefront of an organization and brings the flow in like never before. And you may be wondering, well, what does she mean? And this is how it is. Really, with every organization, there is a frequency and a vibration of that culture. And what I do, and with my team, is I tap into that. And I read that energy and I help the leaders within the organization begin to change and shift through their own experiences. And as they do that, what happens is the flow, the communication, the vibe, the frequency of everybody starts to raise. That's how you get in sync. They start to read one another. They get in their zone, if you will. That's what InSync Consulting is all about. And we do this through many different ways to bring awareness to the leaders within the organization. The number one thing that I think is most important for organizations is that we have leaders that are conscious and aware. That means that they are willing to adjust, change, and go with the flow. The only way they can do that is to raise their awareness. When we have their awareness at a peak, they will move much faster. I do this through experiential learning. Experiential learning, in my opinion, is the most profound way to change. And that simply means that you have an experience that's so massive, so succinct with who you are that you start to resonate in a different way. And we do this through experiential programs. I do it through a peak leadership. We have an apex program, which is where you go out with the horses. I have the voice of your soul and voice mastery, which is how you really start to articulate yourself in a much more profound, impactful way. And you might be wondering, well, how do these things help our organization? Well, the number one problem within most organizations isn't their processes. Although we spend an exorbitant amount of time on our processes, which is important, but it's missing the key component, which is the people who are putting those processes in place. The leaders who are communicating that we need to do these processes in a new way. That's where I come in. I help the leaders of the organization really come together in a more profound, impactful way, so they are communicating with greater clarity, with greater influence, and of course, the pace is picked up exponentially because of this. So, if this sounds interesting to you, reach out to us here at InSync Consulting. I'd love to meet with you and your organization.